I saw your ad on Craigslist, so I've been wanting to kind of put this on paper, just this story, and so I'm gonna tell it to you, and then you tell me what it would take to actually make an article that we could publish in some of the Bitcoin magazines, some of the places where people publish Bitcoin related articles. So my name's Bo, but I'm gonna stay anonymous in the story. But really, it boils down to how I got how I was an early adopter in Bitcoin. So in a nutshell, I trade futures, and usually when you're trading in the stock market or futures market, you just want to get on whatever is moving. If gold or silver or something is moving up or moving down, you just jump on the train and you get off when it stops moving, and you take your profit or your loss. Well, so I follow a handful of people, and I follow like on Twitter and some different forums, and one of them was Max Kaiser, and he started talking about Bitcoin like when it was 6 cents. First time I ever heard about it, and it was just this kind of hacker play money as far as I was concerned. But he kept talking about it every once in a while on his podcast, and then next thing you know, I hear him say something. It was 60 cents. Well, that's a 10 times move. I'm going, okay, wait a second. How do you buy something at 6 and get it to 60? What is this stuff? I didn't really pay attention to it. Next thing you know, I heard it somewhere closer to $7 or $8. Now we're talking about some major move. From 6 cents to $7 or $8 would be a 100-point move. So as a trader, I started getting a little curious about it and decided that I want to try to buy some of this digital cryptocurrency stuff, right? So there's no market for it. You can't really get online and click buy or sell in the U.S. On an exchange like the NASDAQ or anything. It's kind of clandestine. It's mysterious. So I found this website called Local Bitcoins, and in my search, I searched Craigslist, how to buy Bitcoin, and the only way to do it is to send some money by wire to Japan to an account where it's called Mt. Gox, and I wasn't going to do that. I only wanted to buy a few of them, just to the challenge of actually owning some. A few or 10 or 100, I don't know. But at now the price is closer to $50, and it's really piqued my attention. This is over a span of about 2 years, I think. Bitcoin came out in 2009. I heard about it like in 2010. I got interested because of the moves like in 2012. So I went on this webpage, Local Bitcoins, and that's where you can find people that are willing to sell it to you directly. And instead of me going and sending my money to an exchange, I was hoping to find somebody. I'd just meet up with them somewhere at a meetup or whatever, and it wasn't mature enough to even have meetups. I thought I'd find somebody I could just hand them cash and they would give me Bitcoin. So in the evolution of learning how to get it, of course, I had to get a wallet, and so I downloaded this wallet called blockchain.info, I believe, off of a website, and it's real clunky. The user interface was archaic looking, but it was a wallet. I still never understood what the digital currency was. I just wanted to get onto the train. So the Local Bitcoins, I send a message, and they all wanted me to buy 100 of these things. Now that's $5,000. I'm going, no, I don't. That's at 50, and then went to $60, and I'm going, no, I just want to buy how about a couple? How about a couple, two or three? And no one would even pay attention to me. But I was sending chat messages, almost like emails, but it was within their system. I was sending chat messages out, and then finally I got this message back from someone who said that they would sell me a couple if if I would come back to them to buy more if I like it. Something like that. I don't have copies of the emails to show. It would be sort of cool if I did. They so I agreed to pay their it was almost $80 per Bitcoin at this time, and he was going to charge me like 85, and I agreed. So I sent the message, agreed, and then he sent a message back the next day. So I had to wait a day between each one of these messages, and then I said, okay, what do we do next? I sent that to him, and then later I get a message back with a transaction number and his instructions to get the wallet. So I downloaded the wallet and a transaction number, and he said to go. He wrote, go to the commissary where you pay your utility bill. Now that made me scratch my head. I'm going, what are you talking about, this utility bill? And then so I sent the message back, and when he replied, he goes, where you pay for municipal services, go to the commissary. So he repeated it a few different words, but so I was still scratching my head, and I was talking to a friend and told him that, and he goes, you think he's talking about those phones where if you have a like a certified check or a money order, and you go to HEB to pay your water bill, the people that don't have credit cards or bank accounts? So okay, yeah, maybe so. So I was at Walgreens the next day, and when I asked him that, I sent that message back to him. Are you talking about where I would pick up a phone and call someone to pay my utility bill? He said yes. I was in Walgreens the next day, and I asked them if they had one of those phones where I could call and pay my water bill. And they said yeah, and they pointed over at this sort of maroon phone, so the red phone. I picked it up. It didn't even ring. It just clicked, and I heard this lady answer and goes, this is Zip Zap. What's your transaction? And later I checked out Zip Zap. Zip Zap's a company in San Francisco that handles these type of transactions for people that are unbanked. So I gave her the transaction number, and she gave me a confirm. She said, I see, yes, you have an order or an invoice waiting for, it was $165 or something like that. You have an order waiting from Turkey. So Turkey, the country. And I'm going, okay. So that it started making sense. And I asked what to do next. And she goes, go to the register, pay the cash register, give her this confirmation number, pay this cash register. Now, so I paid Walgreens, and they took like $3.20 for their fee, or a $1.60 each. Yeah, so they got their fee, and then I paid them cash because I was going to try to, it was clandestine. It was sort of, I wanted to stay under the radar owning Bitcoin, because you kept hearing in the news about this stuff. It was, drug users and all that use it. So she gives me my receipt, and I stood there for a second thinking, oh shit, I just got scammed out of a couple $100. And then my phone went ding, and I looked down and had a notification. I opened up the wallet, and there it was, 2 Bitcoin. So that's my story on how I became an early adopter at $85 of Bitcoin. Now, I woke up the next day and it was 112. So I kept going back to Walgreens, kept going back, buying it, contacting this guy, say, hey, I want some more, and he sent me some more, and he kept his price above spot price, like $6 or $8 above spot price. And the only way I could check spot price is go online and see current Bitcoin price, and it's like it was published in everywhere you look. The price is a little different, but it's plus or minus $5. And so now we're at $200, and I'm buying more, and so I became an early adopter in Bitcoin. Now, later, when it got to $1,700, I found a way to sell it because it was on its way down, and as a trader, that's what we do. So there was a company in Denver that would take Bitcoin for gold. So that was my first transaction. I was a gold bug. I sent the Bitcoin to Denver, and the gold, they put the gold in the mail. So that's how I took my profit. Now, I really don't want to discuss anything about who I am, when that happened, or the name of the companies, because I don't know if I paid taxes on that gain or not. I know I've paid taxes on further gains since then, but I was an early adopter, and then I sold out of it because the Bitcoin goes in these 4-year cycles. So the price just kept going down and down and down. It went back down into the 200 range. In about a couple years later, it piqued my interest again. But that's the story. Now I want to try to turn it into a readable, efficient article. So I want you to listen to this and tell me your thought on putting this on paper so it can go viral. I would sign it incognito. Incognito. That's kind of a little tagline I've been using for a while. Okay, I'm gonna email this to you, and you can get back to me with your thoughts. Ciao.